So, it's a 150-gallon coral reef tank, referred to as the surge tank because there's a flow that surges in from both sides alternately. It has 3 metal halides, 250 watts apiece on top of it. Live sand, live rock. It's been in a national magazine at one time, but it's changed a little bit since. Old reef tanks do change a little bit. The secret passage. Come on. So it's a 150-gallon tank, about 60 inches long, 30 inches tall, 24 inches front to back. It has 2 CSMs, Carlson Surge Makers. They're like the old-fashioned pull chain toilets. It's a reservoir that sits above that's continuously fed and filled. And at some point, the amount of water in there becomes enough to overwhelm or to start a siphon. And in turn, that water comes down and enters into the side of the tank. So, these are the surge units up here. They're essentially just large reservoirs. There are 2 pumps down in the main reservoir that are pumping water up here and filling both of these units continuously. There's a siphon arrangement here on the side that as they fill up, they force the air out of that siphon, and in turn the water then comes down. And you can see here, these are the drain lines, the siphon lines out of that Carlson Surge Maker, the CSMs. And they come down from the top down there and make this elbow and go straight into the side of the tank. And that's how the water enters the tank. And you can see the surge is now beginning to start. It's forced the air bubble out of the drain line from the reservoir above and has now created a siphon on its own. So as the tank begins to fill up with water, it has to exit via the internal overflow. And the overflow is made special. You can see it does not go all the way to the top of the tank. So if both surge units were to dump at the same time, there's an overflow mechanism that will actually handle all of that water. Now as that water cascades into the overflow from the aquarium, it's captured here at the bottom and then drains out via 2 drain lines, both with vent pipes. And in turn, each pipe has its own entrance into a reservoir. There are 2 of them down here. This is an Iwaki 40 water pump that draws the water out, sends it up back to the tank. This Iwaki over here is a volume version. It's the one that sends the water to the refrigeration unit on the other side of the reservoirs, and then back up to the tank. So it's a 2-pump system, not including the 2 submersible pumps that send water up to the surge units. And then this is the refrigeration unit. You can see it discharges into a vent or a duct that vents it out through the ceiling. I believe this is a 1/4 horse power unit. And that's the protein skimmer, which sits in the reservoir, and it gets a chance to deal with the water that comes directly from the aquarium itself. And then in turn, it deposits it back into the reservoir where the water pumps pick it back up.